Stream and you tell me if you see the
All right, we're attempting to go live here. If there's anybody here, do us a favor and type in chat. We got ready to go live today and it looks like YouTube changed something again. And so we're gonna do some questions a little bit and give book aways if anybody shows up. So what we got going on right now is we got some open time for time builders specials and some FAC courses. What you're seeing now is we just put some fresh logos on the R-44. We went to an event this past weekend called Rotors and Ribs, and there was 30 helicopters there from around the Midwest. I'm not sure who any of the furthest ones where they would have came from, but so that was a fun event. We decided, well, we go up there. We see a lot of yellow R-44s, so we thought, let's put some logos on there so that people will know who we are when we arrive. They'll go, hey, there's hogs just landed over there. So that was fun. And what we're going to talk about now, we're getting ready to show you, as soon as this video stops, we're going to show you some pictures from some of the time building trips that we've been doing. So basically, like this month, July 2024, we got a 100-hour plan for the end of the month. And we've got some flying to do, but we got about 5 hours left that we need to fly off before the 100-hour, and we're going to take it the last day of the month to the mechanic. So we've got 5 hours of time that we have a special deal on right now. It's $495, and the special is for rated qualified pilots. If you need a sign off or something, we can always get an instructor in to sign you off, but preferably you already got your sign off and you just want to come and get 5 hours, we can do Chicago, which we've been doing Chicago trips. There's a place up here, you'll see a picture soon, probably from, yeah, you got one coming up. This is a little restaurant, Lansing, Illinois. We stop in there, eat supper, get fuel, and when we leave there, we usually leave so that we're gonna go downtown Chicago, skyline at night. So we've done this several times now, and the Chicago skyline is absolutely freaking amazing, whether you do the daytime or you do the nighttime. We have a gentleman coming back tomorrow who already done Chicago. He's coming back tomorrow for a 5-hour block he purchased, and we're looking at maybe going to Cincinnati if that's where he wants to go. There's another cool place. We have a picture coming up here that we went to recently. This is a retired naval station. It's just a general aviation airport now called Grosse Isle. And a bunch of history there, a bunch of cool stuff on the wall. There's been some movies made there. Amelia Earhart landed there at one point. Another good destination if you want to burn off some time and, you know, go enjoy a trip. And of course we can use that 5 hours for other stuff as well. So there it is. There's the R-44 with the new logos on it. Again, we're getting ready to go for a 100-hour. This aircraft, we've had it 14 months now. And knock on wood, it has been such a wonderful aircraft, almost no problems other than, you know, the overspeed, but that's my fault for letting that happen. Other than that, it's been a great aircraft. So how many people we got in, Heather?
We have 6 hunters in there.
Hunters in there. There you go. All right, well, we'll give it a few more minutes to see if we get a few more people in there because we're giving away 5 books. So, and we're gonna ask some general aerodynamic questions. So if you're new to what we do here, we have Helicopter Land Ground School. We have online ground school courses for all ratings. And in the past year, we've added flight training for our members in the Robinson R-44. And we came up with something a couple years ago called the Final Approach course. And the Final Approach course is for somebody who is got your rating, or let me rephrase that. You've got your requirements done, you've been studying, you got the ground knowledge down, but you're somewhere at a flight school where for whatever reason, they can't get you a check ride. And I could list the different horror stories that we hear. Apparently what's happening is there's a shortage in a lot of places for examiners, number one. And then something else we're hearing, like we had a CFI recently we did. This young man had been out on the West Coast somewhere. He'd been there for 8 months working on his CFI. And he said they had 40 students and 2 instructors. And he's like, I can't get on the flying schedule. They would do a lot of ground with me, but I just couldn't get on the schedule because it was so jam-packed with 40 students and only 2 instructors. And I evaluated his knowledge in the first Zoom. I was like, wow, man, your knowledge is incredible. And he goes, well, yeah, because that's all I've been doing for 8 months is ground school. So I evaluated him. His knowledge was great. We got him out here in 3 or 4 days. We had his check ride for him, and he was on his way back home. So we have an examiner I've been using for 23 years now, been working together with, and he usually does his best to work us in. So if you're interested in finishing up a rating, you're somewhere, you're really close, but there's some last minute finishing touches you need, and whether the flight school's short on instructors, or the aircraft's been down for a while, or the aircraft's always broken, there's a lot of that goes on as well, or you can't find an examiner, or all the above, get a hold of us at Hogs Customer Service 574-767-1797. And we're also going to put a link down below for Wednesday this week. I'm opened up some times in the afternoon to do Zooms. If you want to do a quick 15-minute Zoom, tell me where you're at. Let me evaluate your knowledge real quick, and we can talk about getting you out here and getting a check ride done. So we have a whole roll of them that roll through it back here on the Hogs Wall of Fame. I think we've done, what, 15 now? Are we at 15?
Yep.
We've done 15 check rides in the last 12 months. And we're pretty proud of that, getting people coming from all over the country. They've come from Maine, they've come from Florida, they've come from Texas, New Mexico, Arizona, Oregon, California. We've had people come from all over, and nobody has left the Hogs hangar unhappy. So again, we got a time builder right now for 5 hours by the end of the month. So get a hold of us. You can even text us today. I'll even Zoom with you today if you want. Jump on the text messages or a phone call to Heather when we get done here, 574-767-1797, and we can talk about it today and see where you're at, see what your schedule is, and we could look at getting you in. Probably not July. We'd have to pull off a major feed. It could happen, but our August is pretty much open. We've got a guy coming 6 and 7. So the 100 hours is going to be done hopefully the first week of August. Then we got a time builder coming for 2 days. And then the rest of August is open. So it's a good time if you want to get a check ride done in August. And then if you see this video at some other point, just remember that number, 574-767-1797. You can text or call Heather at any time to look and see what we got on the schedule. And again, we offer the time builders more towards the end of the month each month, of course, because we're doing check rides. And then usually we'll have a little bit of time that we need to put on the aircraft for the end of the month to make our requirement on our lease. So instead of time just going unused that we got to pay for anyway, we offer a nice discount just to let people take advantage of having an aircraft that they can use. That's the other thing. When you come here, you're not competing on the schedule. Since we've had this R-44, we only do one student at a time. We have one person here at a time working on a rating. You're not sharing the helicopter with anybody. So same thing with the time builder. If you say, hey, I want to come Thursday and Friday on this date, I want to do 5 hours, those 2 days, the aircraft is yours. You're not competing with everybody else and their brother that wants to fly that aircraft. We block off the schedule, you come out, you fly your time. One of the gentlemen that's in the chat now watching, I already mentioned he did 5 hours, he's coming back tomorrow for another 5. We do the whole 5 in one day. And I just jump in and go along. He's qualified. I don't really have to give him dual. And I want to just go along and fly and go enjoy the trip. So I've been going along just for fun. Okay, so how many people we got now? I'll go ahead and ask anyway. We got 14 people, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to ask some questions from the Private Pilot Study Guide. So this link is down below for the Private Pilot Study Guide. And we want to mention, have you heard about Hogs, AskHogs.com? We have a gentleman that was here, actually flew with us to Rotors and Ribs, been a longtime Hogs member, flew with us to Rotors and Ribs, and when we got back, we were talking about AskHogs.com, and he goes, I never heard it. What are you talking about? And we were talking about some question related to helicopter training. I go, watch this. I typed it in, and it answered the question perfectly about helicopter flight training. He's like, well, how long have you had that? I said, I've had this since like February. And he's like, oh my God, I'll be all over that thing now. So we have AskHogs.com is essentially my clone. Okay, we have 13 years of content built into this AI. So this is reading now like 6 million words that I've spoken in either YouTube videos or inside our courses or in blog posts. Every bit of it has been uploaded into this clone. So it's pulling from 13 years of audio and video files that we have. And you can ask anything about helicopter flight training, anything, ground training, whatever. So we've been trying to push this, askhogs.com. You can type in a question or you can actually speak to the clone. And it's my voice, but it's much better than me because it actually pronounces words properly and uses proper sentence structure, unlike me. So, but it's amazing. And we have found ourselves, we have 2 couches over there we're using when we're doing check ride preparation. And we'll be sitting there talking about something, and I'll be asking questions, and a question will come up, and we start digging through books to try to find an answer or something, and I go, wait a minute, why are we going through all this hassle when we can just go to askhogs.com, type the question, boom, get an answer. And we check it and mess with it all the time. I'd say it answers with 99% accuracy. I mean, there could be something that's maybe changed over time or something that might not come out quite right, but you'd be amazed if you got a helicopter training related question, go check out askhogs.com. It is really super cool. And book downloads, there's book downloads below for this book and other books, free PDFs. Phone numbers down there for texting and calling Heather. We talked about the Time Builder and the FAC, study guide links below. Hogs Wall of Fame. It's been a while since we had anybody send in a picture for the Hogs Wall of Fame. If you're new to us, we have a no-go button. I'm looking for one. Well, we got one over here. It's Velcroed in. We keep this in the helicopter. It's kind of fun. Keep it right there on the panel. Once you get your check ride done, send us in a picture. We send you a mini no-go button. And we're down to make another order. And I kind of want to order the big ones, but the girls here say they like the little ones. Yeah, I said that. So the no-go button, we're either going to order large ones or maybe small ones. Sorry. But we'll get some more ordered and on the way. So you pass your check ride, and we send you Hogs No-Go button, and we get you up on the Hogs Wall of Fame. You can't see it right now because the R-44 is blocking it, and now make me think we should have set the TVs a little higher. But anyway, the Hogs Wall of Fame is behind us. We want to get you up there after you pass your rating. So let's ask some aerodynamic questions for Private Pilot 101. And if you want me to sign them for you, I can. Heather's going to ship these to you. So the winners you'll be communicating with Heather in chat. She's sitting over here right now talking to you in chat. Get a hold of her after you win. Email Heather at helicopterground.com. Just chat with her real quick. She'll get your email address and she'll send you the book. So we're going to give away 5 of those. So the first question, and please, I know you want to win the book, but please spell correctly and try to be as legible as possible and not a bunch of gobbledygook that's hard to understand. This is very, very simple question, something you could be asked on a check ride at any level, private, commercial, and on. Name the 3 standard rotor systems. And I'm going to show Heather what the answer is. This is for 3 types of rotor systems. And of course, on a check ride, you need to know a little bit more, and you need to know kind of an idea of what each one does versus the other. But the first person to type in, name the 3 standard rotor systems. And Heather will let me know here shortly for the first winner. And again, this is out of the Private Pilot Study Guide. We put this together several summers ago now. Brian Rutledge, our operations manager, spent 3 months putting this together. And at the time, we were using the practical test standards. And he went through and thought of anything he could think of that could be asked on a private pilot check ride. So this has over 80 pages, has over 400 questions that you could be asked on a oral. Any winners over there yet?
Not yet, but I'm sure there's a bit of a rule.
Okay, so we will get ready for the next question. Let me find that.
Mark Schmidt.
Mark Schmidt is the winner. Mark, you have the first copy. Move that over so I can keep track of how many have won the book. So email Heather at helicopterground.com with your information, and she will set you up. All right, so another easy one. Get ready, here we go. What are the 4 forces of flight? There's 4 of them. Basic private pilot question. An examiner absolutely is going to ask you this at a private pilot level and then on. And while we're waiting for the first person to answer that correctly. Let me show Heather the answer. On check rides, here's a little note. A lot of times people are doing an add-on and they think that, oh, well, I'm an add-on pilot. I don't need to know this certain stuff because the examiner's not going to ask. Well, let me tell you, that's not the case. When you're doing an add-on rating, be prepared for them to come back and ask you basic private pilot 101 questions, okay? You have to go through all this stuff, refresh all the private pilot knowledge when you're doing an add-on, or if you're going for commercial, or you're going for CFI. They still start out with, what do you have to have on you when you're gonna go fly? What do you have to have in the aircraft? How do you stay current? All this basic stuff a lot of times kind of slips away. I'm looking at Heather, you got a winner?
Cameron won.
Cameron?
Yep.
All right, Cameron, you are the winner for the second book, Private Pilot 101. Boom. Email Heather at helicopterground.com. Very nice. I'm glad we got enough people in here to win some stuff. We've done these before where there was hardly anybody there, and we're like, well, nobody wanted free stuff today, I guess. So thank you for being here. I'll just take a minute to say we appreciate it. We haven't been doing a lot of videos lately because we've been busy with the helicopter, and just this morning we were discussing kind of game plan for the future, and I said we got to get back more active on YouTube, not because we didn't want to make videos, just with all the flying and things we've had going on. We've kind of slacked, and YouTube is our #1. So we're going to get back to doing some more videos and doing some more lives and more giveaways. Okay, now this one, you could think this is going to be a complicated answer, but there's a very simple way to answer this question. Describe dissymmetry of lift. Maybe you could roll some pictures again, Lindsay, while I go over here and help Heather, because I know what I'm looking for. There's a very simple definition that you can use for dissymmetry of lift. So this doesn't have to be something typed in, 5 different lines, right? Just Cameron should remember. He was here for his private pilot check ride. Cameron, do you remember? When I'm prepping you for the examiner and I say, what is dissymmetry of lift? What is a very simple definition that would satisfy the examiner? So we're watching. Come on, somebody. Very easy. And I can't really give any hints because it's so short if you know it. We're looking for a very simple answer for what is dissymmetry of lift. So, can't say it to Heather right here because you're going to hear me over the microphone.
As if I don't know.
You know. You've heard me say it enough time, right? Well, you know.
I might. If I see it
Come on, somebody.
written right.
Simple answer. And it's an easy answer. Most people make this too complicated. When you ask the question, what is the dissymmetry of lift? They'll start going, well, there's an advancing blade and there's a retreating blade. And the advancing blade is doing this and da-da. And I'm going, wait. All I asked you is, what is dissymmetry of lift? What is a very simple definition of dissymmetry of lift? I can't believe nobody's typing that in there. Or maybe it's just a YouTube
I would think the lag would be over
being
there
so
now.
slow. And by the way, yeah, that is Cameron Schultz. He came here for his private. Cameron, he enjoyed his flight school. He had no problem with his flight school. He liked the training. He liked the people. He couldn't get his test. He kept getting put off. You need this checkout. You need that checkout. And he got tired of waiting, came up here, and we got him finished up. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll go back over to the next question, and you let me know if something pops up there, Heather, and I'll come over and help with you. Yeah, there is a simple definition. And anybody that's a Hogs fan or been going through the Hogs training should know it, especially Cameron. Maybe he lost his feed. Let's go to the next one.
Unequal lift across the rotor disc.
You got it.
Cameron.
Cameron, unequal lift across the rotor system. Perfect.
Somebody else answered too.
Unequal rotor lift distribution. If you count that, we can give it to the other person because Cameron already won one.
Let me look.
Unequal rotor lift distribution. I mean, it sounds.
It's about right.
Yeah. We'll give them both a book. So we'll give them both a book. Cameron and the other one. Oh, Cameron already won one?
Yeah, remember he won the.
Oh. Well, if he already won the book, then we'll give it to the next guy.
Exactly.
All right, cool. Problem solved. So 2 more to go, right? That's 3 books. All right, next question. Oh, I love this one. And if you fly in Robinson, you should know this, but you should also know whether you're flying anything else, because this is a general safe rule that applies to any helicopter across the board. However, it's preached at Robinson, by Robinson, and if you've been through Robinson training, you've probably heard it. This will take you a little bit more to type, but it's still pretty easy. If you know this, you know this. Describe the general safe rule for flying approaches. I'm gonna go show Heather the answer. She's probably heard this a million times too, but so this is the answer right here, Heather. Describe the general rule for flying approaches. So you need this until below that right there. And I am amazed at how many pilots that come here from wherever, and I ask this question, and I start getting these different kind of answers. And I'm like, well, yeah, but not what I'm looking for. A very simple rule for flying helicopter approaches. So while we wait there, we'll mention again, if you want to talk today about coming out, text us here. We're going to wrap this up here pretty quick. Text Heather at 574-767-1797. You can go ahead and text right now, and we'll return your text as soon as we get done, and we could work you into a Zoom today, like right away. We can pop it up. We're going to open the hangar doors, get some air blown in here because it's freaking humid. But we can talk about getting you here for one of these time builders before the end of the month, a 5-hour deal. We charge $650 per hour for this aircraft, but the time builder for this month is $495. So you're getting an aircraft that's worth every penny at $650. You're getting it for $595. I mean $495 for a 5-hour block, and we can get that in before the end of the month. And again, a good deal for you, so we can burn off that 5 hours, and we can head off to the mechanic at the end of the month for the 100-hour inspection coming up. Got an answer yet? All right, let's get my next question ready. Oh, I must have skipped one. I skipped one? One. Here we go. I skipped over, but that's okay. I can answer it now. So we're waiting for an answer on the approaches to give away that book. Here's your other question. And this is simple too. This is one that you'll ask somebody what this is, and they'll start describing and getting really deep into it. But there's also an example that almost all of us use in the helicopter training industry when we ask you about this, there's something we relate it to. And so the answer could be as minimum as just a quick reference to what it is that happens in the world. You actually see this maybe on television. You may have seen it live. Describe Coriolis effect. What is it that we always use as an answer to explain on a check ride? Like, you can use this when the examiner says, so tell me about Coriolis effect. You go, well, it's like the blankety blank, and when they do this, the rotor system does this, and then when they do this, it does that. So 2 questions. Describe Coriolis effect, and then we're still waiting on the approaches, right? Nothing yet? All right, so we're waiting on the 2 book giveaways. Let's run down again real quick. AskHogs.com. If you haven't tried it out, go try it today. Just go to the web, type in AskHogs.com, and you'll see where there's an area to type in a question. Type it right in there. Right now it's free, and you can ask as many questions as you want. At a certain point, we're going to limit this, give away a few free questions, and then there'll be a paid part, or it'll all be, inside hogs. But for now, it's free. You can go there and ask any question about helicopter flight training, askhogs.com, and you can actually talk to it. You just pull it up, click the little phone icon, ask the question, and you'll get a response. Right now, it's just audio. They've added the feature now for your clone to be actual, see your clone. It'll look and sound like you, but we haven't joined that option yet, but we're probably going to. And down below, you got book downloads links, book download links. So a bunch of resources. Man, I'm getting hot and sweaty. Any answers? Nothing? Come on, people. Come on. So yeah, and again, get a hold of us. We'll Zoom today, and then we have a link down below where you can sign up for a Zoom with me on Wednesday. If we didn't put that link yet, I think Lindsay did it. You got it in there, right, Lindsay? It's down there below. So if you want to do a Zoom on this coming Wednesday, talk about your FAC or even talk about a time builder, you can go to down below this video. There's a link down there for 15-minute Zoom sessions. You can grab one of those with me on Wednesday from like 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Got one?
Cameron said Coriolis affects the tendency of the rotor blades to speed up or slow down as they flap up and down, like an ice skater extending or retracting their arms as they spin.
He is correct. If anybody else, and he's already got the book, right?
Fun now, yeah.
He's playing for fun. So if somebody else types that in, we'll send you the book. Cameron's already got a book. So the other one, on the approaches, nobody's answered yet.
Yeah, can you repeat that question?
Okay, that question is, there's a general rule that many of us were trained when we started out as pilots, as students. And it's talking about when you're coming in on approach, you want to keep what until your what goes below what. Very simple, and it involves the number 3. Got to be somebody watching that knows the general safe rule for flying approaches. And if you don't, now's a good time to learn it. And this is something you should be using on every single approach. Every time, every helicopter you fly, it's the same thing. This will keep you out of sailing with power.
We give, okay, minimum safe airspeed and altitude to allow for a go-around ice skater effect for the Coriolis effect. I'm trying to win the book.
The ice skater, yes. Ice skaters I'm looking for. That's an acceptable answer because you can easily tell the examiner when a skater starts with their arms out, as they bring their arms in, they speed up. As they move their arms out, they start to slow back down. And the same thing happens in the rotor system. As those blades start to cone up, they speed up. As the blades start to come down, they slow down. That's a perfectly good answer, and almost everybody uses that. So it sounds like, oh my gosh, Coriolis effect. Always just go back to the spinning skater. And so now we're waiting for, that somebody answered the approach thing isn't what I was looking for. I'm looking for numbers. Keep.
Cameron, he's just playing for fun again, but he said vertical speed always less than 300 RPM and speed always greater than 30 knots. So a little.
He's close. His terminology slacked a little bit since you were here, Cameron. I'll tell you what, whoever types it in can have the book because Cameron already won a book. Keep 30 on your airspeed until your rate of descent is below 300. It needs to be stated that way. Keep 30 on your airspeed until rate of descent is below 300. Type it in. First person to type it in gets the last book, right? Then that's all 5 books.
Correct.
All right, so we'll wrap it up. We'll just recap. Anybody ever watch Catfish? There's always a recap on Catfish. They recap at the beginning. They recap as soon as they get started. Then they recap again 10 minutes later. AskHogs.com. Go get your helicopter training questions answered and let us know what you think. So book downloads down below. The phone number is down below as well for Heather. Hogs member support at 574-767-1797. That's down below. We got a time builder special, and we've got some open days between now and the end of the month. You can just text us, call us up. We'll get you on the schedule. 5 hours, $4.95 an hour for that aircraft. Just so you know, this aircraft has basically right now it's like 223 hours since overhaul. We picked it up fresh from Sevier County choppers after the major overhaul. We've done 1 overspeed inspection, 100 hour, we've done our oil changes, and now getting ready to go back to our local mechanic for 100 hour. Virtually no problems with this aircraft. It's super clean. Everybody that comes here says, oh my gosh, this aircraft is so clean. We work to keep it that way because not only is it clean, it's fresh, it's well maintained. We don't allow anything to be broken. You don't come here and go, oh, we're gonna fix that on the next inspection. Oh, we're gonna fix that at the oil change. This aircraft gets what it needs, and everybody that flies it agrees. The way it's rigged, the way it flies, the way it's tracked, nobody's come here and went, oh, you know, you should do this, or you should do that. Everybody has loved this aircraft. And again, you got a wonderful aircraft, and when you come, the schedule is yours. If it's 1 day, 2 days, 2.5 days, whatever time we need to get your time in for either a time builder or an FAC, the helicopter's all you. You can show up before we get here in pre-flight. We'll tell you how to get in, You can come in here, you can study, look at the POH, you can pre-flight the aircraft, sit and practice startup, shutdown, whatever you want to do. Anything over there, Heather? Nope. Nobody else?
Nope.
All right, well then let's wrap it up and get out of here. I've recapped all that. Look for some more giveaways. Keep an eye on your email because we're going to do some more fun stuff and you're going to hear from us soon. All right. Peace out. See you in the